Misha now comes to the kitchen, when Aunt Aisha and Mona are preparing to cook for the evening. This cooking pan is quite small, we cannot cook for everyone in this. Do we have a bigger pan? Aunt Aisha asks. Well, there was a huge and heavy pan in the attic, which has never been used, Misha says. Maybe we can use that. I will ask Addy to bring that, Misha says. Misha and Addy are in the garage now. The heavy pan is deep inside the attic. We have never used it after our marriage. I think it must have rusted by now, Addy says. Let us have a look. If it is not usable, then we will cook in that old small pan twice, Misha says. Mona, who is babysitting the kids, gets a phone call. She requests Misha to take care of the kids, while she finishes the phone call. Misha now goes to attend the kids, as Mona is speaking on the phone. Addy pulls a chair below the attic and stands on it, but he is not tall enough to reach it. Do you want my help? The tall Aunt Aisha asks, as she notices Addy struggling to reach the attic. Don't worry about it, Aunt Aisha. I will borrow a small ladder from the neighbors, Addy says. Come on, why do you need to bother the neighbors for such a small thing? Just climb on my shoulders, Aunt Aisha says with a smile. Addy is in disbelief. No way, how can I get lifted up by a guest like this? Addy replies in protest. And if Misha comes to know of this, she will not be happy, he says. Come on, Misha is my niece, but she was always like Mona to me. Which means you are like my son-in-law too. And the women of our family never fail to support our men, Aunt Aisha laughs. Well, if Misha and Mona can carry me, then Aunt Aisha can definitely carry me, Addy thinks, and agrees to take her help. Aunt Aisha now stands in front, as Addy is standing on the chair. Don't think so much, just climb on my shoulders, Aunt Aisha says. Addy holds on her broad shoulders and is surprised as they are rock solid. Slowly taking support of the wall, Addy clumsily climbs on the strong shoulders of Aunt Aisha. He feels like he is climbing on a strong tree branch, as Aunt Aisha balances herself to his weight. Sitting on a shoulder sit, on the strong and tall Aunt Aisha, Addy is surprised at how rock solid and effortlessly Aunt Aisha is standing there carrying him. Curses, she did not even budge an inch when I climbed with my full weight on her shoulders, Addy thinks in shock. Sitting on the shoulders of tall Aisha auntie, Addy can easily reach the attic now. He leans over and climbs onto the attic. That big metal pan is still there on the attic. Goodness, this is not just a big pan, it is a monster pan. It can easily cook food for some 50 people easily, Addy thinks to himself. Addy now thinks to pick it up and drop it on the floor. But what is this? That big metal pan is very heavy. Addy tries with all his might, but he is only able to move it a little. Curses, this huge metal pan is almost as heavy as me, Addy realizes. Hey Aunt Aisha, we cannot bring this heavy metal pan down just like that. It can easily break the floor tiles or injure someone, he says. Come on, how heavy can an old thick metal pan be? Just push it towards me, I will carry it, Aunt Aisha says with confidence. Addy uses all his might and somehow drags the big heavy pan and takes it to the edge. Aunt Aisha, take care of that pan, Addy says and pushes it off the edge. Addy looks nervously below. Aunt Aisha is carrying the big pan and balancing it on her single shoulder. Come on Addy, it is not that heavy, she smiles. Addy cannot believe what he is seeing. The same pan which Addy was struggling to even move, Aunt Aisha was carrying it on her single shoulder. Addy is looking speechless at Aunt Aisha now. Hey Addy, why are you still waiting on the attic? The pan is safe on my shoulder. Why don't you also get down now? She asks. But where should I get down on? Addy asks. On my other shoulder, she smiles. Addy cannot believe what he is hearing. That pan is almost as heavy as me. How can you hold both our weights together? Addy asks. Don't think so much, you just get down on my shoulder. I will decide whether I can carry or not, Aunt Aisha says. Addy carefully climbs down and sits on Aunt Aisha's other shoulder, as she is still carrying the heavy pan. Addy is shocked to see Aunt Aisha still standing rock solid, despite carrying his and the pan's weight together, each on her shoulders. Rats, it means Aunt Aisha is capable of carrying twice my weight, Addy realizes in shock. Now don't make any sudden moves, Addy, or we will lose balance, Aunt Aisha laughs. Still talking on the phone, Mona suddenly enters the room. Looking at her mom carrying her brother-in-law on her one shoulder and an equally heavy pan on another, Mona is both in shock and jealousy. Oh wow, Mom. Bro-in-law is sitting on your single shoulder. This is such a beautiful scene, Mona says and drops her phone in excitement. Rats, this is embarrassing, Addy thinks as he is still lifted up on the single shoulder of Aunt Aisha, who is also carrying the heavy pan on her other shoulder. Shush, Mona, don't tell this to Misha, Aunt Aisha laughs, and simply bends down, letting Addy get down from her shoulder. Still carrying the heavy pan on her shoulder, Aunt Aisha now stands up and carries it into the kitchen. Addy is standing there in disbelief, realizing how strong Aunt Aisha is, when Mona comes near him. This is not fair, bro-in-law, you did so much drama near that railway station, to just get carried by me piggyback. And here, you promptly climbed up on Mom's single shoulder, without any question, Mona complains and leaves. Addy is just speechless. It is dinner time now. Wow, Aunt Aisha might have gotten bigger and stronger, but her cooking is still as tasty as ever, Addy thinks. Hey sis, the kids will sleep in our room today, Mona says to Misha and winks at her. Addy is feeling a little worried, as Misha is now looking at him, biting an apple slice. After dinner, Addy takes a small walk and comes back to the room. Misha is now in front of the mirror, preparing to sleep. Addy realizes that Misha is looking even more beautiful, without any makeup or jewelry. He now stands behind her looking at the mirror. Rats, Misha is now many inches taller than him, as Addy looks at himself beside her in the mirror. Curses, I look so small and short in front of her, Addy realizes in shock. I cannot understand one thing, Misha, how did you grow so much taller within 3 months? It is impossible at this age, Addy says. Oh yes, I forgot to tell you, as I was in the village for 3 months, Mona and I practiced yoga and stretching exercises often, Misha says. That is when Mona told me that my posture is incorrect, so she taught me exercises to straighten my back, spine and knees, and as a result, I am 4 inches taller now, Misha says. But this is unbelievable, Addy says. You were an inch shorter than me before, but now you are 3 inches taller than me. This is unreal. He exclaims in worry. Come on, a long bent stick will always look shorter than a straight short stick, is it not? Misha laughs. Addy is feeling disheartened now. Why are you feeling so sad, my husband? It is the tradition in our family that the women are always taller and bigger than their husbands, Misha laughs. In fact, now that you are shorter and smaller, you have become much more attractive and desirable to me than ever before, Misha says, looking at Addy with a spark in her eyes. Addy is feeling scared now. Misha now comes close to Addy, towering over him. She slowly comes and kisses him on the lips, kissing him gently. Misha slowly wraps her arms around his behind and lifts him up into a front piggyback. Misha does this so gently. Addy is not terrified this time, and is actually enjoying the way she lifted him up. Carrying Addy like a koala, Misha now gets into the bed on all fours, with Addy still hanging on her with his full weight. Crawling onto the bed using her hands and legs. She now lowers Addy to the bed and starts kissing him gently. Misha now starts running her hands inside his shirt, and starts feeling his body. Addy cannot believe how the tables have turned now. Since marriage, Misha was never interested in making love. The only time they did something like that was when planning for kids. But now, it is Misha who is initiating romance and the act of making love. Addy is further surprised as Misha now slowly starts overpowering him on bed. Holding both his hands forcefully, Misha is slowly turning into a tigress on bed. Addy is overwhelmed by her strength and stamina. Addy tries to take some control, but Misha is not only on top, the whole time, she does it with total dominance and control. Addy is feeling like he is being worn out, and being literally swallowed up whole by her. Misha is turning out to be not only strong and passionate, but also having a huge stamina. Addy ends up being completely dominated and overpowered by her. Addy's helpless moans are heard throughout the night inside the room, while it is raining heavily outside. It is morning now. Addy wakes up feeling totally worn out and exhausted. Misha has already made the bathroom ready with a towel and hot water for Addy. As Addy finishes his bath, he comes out of the bathroom wearing only the towel around him. Misha has entered the room with hot coffee and spots Addy standing in front of the bathroom. Feeling her lips and neck with her fingers, Misha places the coffee on the table and locks the bedroom door. She now comes close to Addy. "Not bad, my husband. You look really tempting when wearing only a towel," Misha says, smirking. "Look, Misha, what is running in your mind? Your intentions don't look good to me," Addy says in fear, as Misha corners him against the wall. Staring below at her husband with her big eyes, Misha suddenly bends down and scoops Addy up on her arms, into a high cradle, with a bounce. Addy is shocked beyond belief. "Oh God, she lifted me up so easily." Addy realizes. "Hey, come on, what is this, Misha? After all these years of marriage, you have lifted me up into a cradle for the first time like this. What has gotten into you?" Addy shrieks in disbelief, as he is now lifted up in a high cradle by his wife, while only wearing a towel around his waist. "This is not fair, my husband. How can a man blame his woman for carrying him on her arms when he is looking so tempting to her?" Misha laughs. "You should have thought of this before showing up, wearing only a towel." Misha smiles, as she is looking passionately into Addy's eyes, while still carrying him cradle. Pulling Addy closer, Misha now kisses his lips again and thrusts her tongue in. Addy realizes in shock that Misha wants to make love again with him. As she throws him on the bed and comes on top, she runs her hands inside his towel now. "Misha, we just had a rough and long session of lovemaking the previous night. How can you want another session immediately in the morning?" Addy asks in disbelief. "Come on, let us do just this once," Misha says, and before Addy could respond, she holds his hands forcibly on the bed and comes on top. Addy is helpless as he gets dominated again on bed. After another long and tiring session, the satisfied Misha leaves the room wearing her clothes. Addy had never even imagined in his life that one day, his delicate wife Misha will become so strong that she will be able to carry him cradle on her arms. And worse, even dominate and make love with him by carrying him to bed. "I better take leave today," the sweating and exhausted Addy thinks, as he is lying on the bed now, trying to catch breath. Still feeling worn out, Addy now gets ready and comes to the dining room. Misha now comes to Addy with breakfast, looking into his eyes. "Hey Dad, Mom has now become taller than you." The kids laugh, looking at them standing together. Curses, even the kids are noticing it now, Addy realizes in despair. "Good morning, people. All the schools and offices are instructed to be closed today because of heavy rains. The next course of action will be decided once the heavy rains will subside," the radio announcer says. "Yay, no school today," the kids celebrate. Addy is worried now. "I just hope that all these strong women in the house let me alone today," he thinks. Addy now is reading newspaper on the lawn. His wife Misha is taking care of the kids, Aunt Aisha is practicing yoga. Mona now comes in front of Addy, wearing a tracksuit, as she is working out. Goodness, Mona is looking even taller wearing the tracksuit, Addy thinks. "Hey bro-in-law, will you help me for workouts?" Mona asks. "Sure, but how can I help you with your workouts?" Addy asks in surprise. "Of course you can, bro. I want to perform squats, using you as weights," Mona says. Addy is unable to understand what she is saying. "How can my weight help if you want to do squats, Addy asks. Well, bro-in-law, you don't have to do anything. You only have to sit on my shoulders, Mona smiles. What? No way, it is impossible. Addy shrieks. The story will continue, gentlemen. Please check out our playlists for more stories.